All right, me mateys. G'day, g'day, g'day. Morning, good afternoon, and as always, very good evening, ladies and gents. How are we? Hope you're all doing well. Smash that like button, please, if you could. Welcome to another week on the charts. Let's continue on what has been a fantastic start to the month of July. Has been an absolute cracker. We are in July, aren't we? These have had an absolute brain freeze at the moment. It's July. I thought it was June for a second. Great start to the stream, isn't it? But it's been a fantastic start to the month of July. On a great winning streak at the moment, 13 run win streak. Prior to that, I was on a good win streak as well. But nonetheless, let's see what we got moving forward today on the charts in this week. Let's have a good one, guys. So we'll have a look. First of all, obviously we'll take a look at GJ Gold, and as per request, we'll also have a look at GU eventually. Also, Bitcoin is something that we're paying more attention to these days in anticipation of trading it in the next few months live on stream. Now, let's quickly take a look at the news, and what we can see is there is not much happening for today at all. It does get quite busy though midweek. So moving into tomorrow, we've got the Fed chair speaking, so that's going to have a massive impact. Whatever the rhetoric that comes out of that will obviously have a big impact on the majors and also gold. So just be very wary of that moving forward. Markets could be a little bit flat until then, perhaps. Moving forward, also we've got on Wednesday. We've got Thursday, sorry. Well, Wednesday morning, so it's a bit confusing because of the time difference, but Wednesday afternoon for you guys, Thursday midnight for me, and Wednesday morning for those of you in the US. We got, as I mentioned, the Fed chair speaking. Then we've got GDP coming up on Thursday for the pound, so that will be interesting. We'll see if we can come up with a game plan moving forward for that, for potential entries around the news. As I've mentioned to you guys, I've been looking at ways to get involved for the pound news. Moving forward, also we've got a massive one with CPI to come. So big week ahead as far as the news calendar, and to top it off with PPI on Friday. So anyway, guys, that's enough of that, and let's get started with the analysis. So I did send in charts into the members group, did a webinar with the members yesterday. What we can see is prices tapped in some of these levels that I have predetermined as potential zones for it to tap into before it bounces off and ends up continuing bullish in line with the previous weekly candle. So let's have a look at it. Once again, starting with the weekly time frame, guys. Open with the gap to the upside. Now, I've gone the best of a bad bunch, to be honest. I've used Forex.com because pretty much every broker's got a gap. A lot of them have gaps to the downside. Forex.com's got a slight gap to the upside, but it's not really there. You can't really see anything once you go down to the 30-minute time frame, which is why I've chosen to roll with Forex.com for today. Now, based off the previous weekly candle, it is obviously a very strong bullish candle. So that would suggest to me the buyers are still more than present on the chart, or in this pair at the moment. Buyers are still well in control of the strength of the pound and weakness in the Japanese yen. So based off that, we begin to break the high of the previous weekly candle. Clean traffic to the left. Last time, once again, we're at these levels is 2008. So we've got plenty of room to the upside if we begin to break the high of the previous weekly candle. Being a Monday, guys, I have a general rule on Mondays and Fridays to trade the strength of the weekly. So that being said, that would mean today I would prefer to look for the buy options. We've got the previous weekly closing back strong bullish. We've got the daily closing back bullish after a bit of a pause. So again, there is no yet real strong enough confirmation for me to suggest that we may make a deeper pullback. We'll see once we go down to the M30. Pretty sure it's bullish though as well. So at this point, I'm likely going to be looking for the potential buys. So we can see the daily structure is bullish above the previous daily candles high. Once again, clean traffic to the left. Yeah, we're going to mark in some levels of support and resistance on the 4 hour. So actually, let's go back to the daily quickly. Potential levels that price could pull back to, well, we're marking a 50% actually of the weekly, but what I want to see is not necessarily if it's going to end up coinciding with a level of support or resistance on a 4 hour or M30, but more so to see what we've got above that level is potential targets for price to pull back to, form its lower week before it potentially forms the support, grabs enough liquidity from that previous candle into the new weekly candle, and potentially begins to flip and head back up in line with that previous candle. So that's the 50% of that previous weekly candle. We can see on the 4 hour it's above a previous resistance, kind of above a support too. So gonna mark in the most recent level. I mean, the most recent support is that previous 4 hour candle. How's that for a liquidity grab candle as well, guys? So seeing that would also make me not really interested in selling it where that previous 4 hour candle closed, leaving a long wick to the downside, only to close up near its high. In my opinion, it's a high probability if it breaks its own high that price will continue to the upside. So let's just mark in the current candle's high, seeing looks like it may have just broken. No, it's a point below the previous candle's high, so marking the previous candle's high, that's our 4 hour range. We're just gonna adjust it though once we go down to the 30-minute. All right, so the downside and line up with the lowest point of any bullish candle. To the upside now, I don't want to draw in two levels. Reason being, we've got some pretty clean traffic. Once we break this resistance around at 206.12, I mentioned this to the guys yesterday on the call, the VIP guys. Now if we close above that point there, then we're likely going to retest the previous daily candles high. We've got clean traffic to the left at that point. So even though it's heading into the 4 hour resistance, I still feel there's a high probability if it does begin to pop above, close above that 206.10, that we will continue up towards that previous weekly candles high. So for that matter, I'm going to mark in buys above 206.12. All right, and once again today I'm not really interested in selling it, guys. We are in a big uptrend on GJ. We've tapped into and respected that last significant high low on the 30-minute time frame. So therefore I'd be all about the buys, to be honest. So for me, the further buy options would be if price pops back down to 205.35 to 40, forms the support back above it. Even if it was to just sweep the current daily candles low, the Asian session low, only to pop back above, I would still consider looking for the buy option from the lows at this point here, above that 205.35 roughly to 40. The buys above. Now, interesting, right now, forming a resistance potentially at a previous level of support here to the left. Just mark that in. And it's blue. If we start to pop above, close above that level there, I feel like could be our first point of interest for a potential buy moving forward into proceedings today. Again, it lines up with this support to the left. If we were to drag this across further, let me just do that. You can see it lines up with a lot of traffic here to the left. Resistance, previous support, more support over here to the left hand side. So I feel, and when in doubt, you can use line chart, but I feel if we begin to pop back above that support here to the left, seeing we are now forming that resistance at it. So perhaps on the next candle, come close to end to London Open, if we start closing above, we'll get an early candle still for a potential buy. Now it's not the cleanest traffic to the left hand side, so it just depends how far it pushes into the range above the current that resistance 205.80. But if we do begin to close above, I may contemplate a buy option at that point there. So I'm just going to mark it in. Potential buys above resistance, which it looks like it's about to confirm in about 4 and a bit minutes. Impulse entries are highly unlikely. Reason being, it's not the cleanest traffic to the left. I'd rather have confirmation that we're going to close above this previous support, and then I would consider the option to potentially buy it. So that is GJ, guys. Hopefully it makes sense. I would really prefer for this to close back bearish, in all honesty. 15, let's look at the hourly. Yeah, so I'd rather it form that resistance and pop above it, because the hourly, when I look at the hourly, to me, I kind of feel like you're a bit late to the party. So you need to to drag in some more liquidity into the market, trigger in some sellers. I'll need to wipe those sellers out, then I'd be more comfortable. At the moment, if we continue to the upside, kind of feel like you just need to let it play out again. Maybe close above, consolidate above that 205.80, and then potentially moving forward, or let it just create that clean impulse to the upside, pull back to that level yet again, form a support above it, and then potentially buy it. So it's all good, guys. We chill. We're not going to force anything. We want everything to be cherry ripe, especially on a Monday. So what we'll be doing, we'll be waiting, guys. So that's the plan. Hopefully it makes sense. And let's, in the meantime, 3 minutes left. Keep an eye on my MetaTrader, but looks like it's going to close bullish. So no entry for me right now on GJ. Let's move on to have a look at the gold. Let me clear these drawings. All right, so much the same as GJ, gold is now in a big uptrend. We can see the previous weekly candle closed a very strong bullish candle. It's actually closed above the most recent resistance to the left hand side here. So based off that, once again, be looking for potential levels that price could pull back to. Going to mark in the high of that most recent bearish candle as a potential level. We're also going to mark in a 50% yet again, just to see what it does line up with. There is a point of interest at that point there for price to potentially form a support at, head back up in line with the strength of the previous weekly candle. Also going to mark in the high of that previous weekly candle. If we break above it, what we can see is we have some clean traffic all the way up towards that 2,415 sort of level based off the weekly time frame. Onto the daily, and once again the daily, we've closed above a resistance here to the left as well. So big catalyst there on the previous daily candle, on the previous weekly candle. Again, where could we potentially pull back to grab liquidity from the market? Now on the daily, let's mark in the 50%. So that kind of lines up with that resistance to the left, the most recent resistance. So we're going to remove the 50% of the weekly candle, focus on the 50% of the previous daily candle, which kind of lines up that previous resistance to the left. And that could be a potential of a price could pull back to grab a little bit more liquidity from the market before it forms the support, heads back up, and we can look for the buys. And in my opinion, that was to be the case, and it breaks above the previous weekly candle's high. It's likely got enough momentum to continue all the way up to potentially yet again that's even higher on the daily time frame, 2426 roughly. The bullish in structure across the board. The 4 hour obviously well bullish at the moment too, creating a little bit of a pullback. That's nice and healthy. That's all good. Once again, potentially just grabbing some more liquidity from the market before we head back up. Going to mark in this resistance that we've recently broken. The level here to the left, I'm not going to bother too much about the moment because we have actually broken below it. So see what we've got in the 30 minute, but we are technically bullish in structure. I'm just going to mark in the current daily candle's high as well. And above it, we've got some really clean traffic to the left. So definitely going to be looking for buyers above the high of that previous weekly / daily. Now it's likely going to be looking for buys lower down. Just a matter of where. So in the M30, you can see the current daily candle's low, already testing that. Let's just mark in that level. So that's the support formed at the current daily candle's low. Now, not going to be easy buying from it because not much margin. It's just consolidating as well, to be honest. So it's not really, I mean, to look for a catalyst from this point here, we're likely not going to have the margin to take a buy back up. But we'll wait and see anyway, guys. Further options, I feel if we do pull back a little bit further, just going to mark it in for horizontal. Have we got a 15-minute zone? All right, let's just do this, guys. Let's mark in a 15-minute zone. Change it to 15-minute zone is like an aqua color. And that is another potential price could pull back to form another support at before we head back up in line with the previous weekly candle. Now further to the south of that, we've got the 50% of that previous daily candle. So once again, if price was to pull back that far, I want to see the buyers step in, defend that level, form a support, start to form a little bit of structure from that low, and we could potentially look for our buys from what could be the lowest point of the new weekly candle. So for me on gold today, I'll be looking for potential buys above this point here. 2378 roughly. As far as the current level, it's a bit tricky. We don't really have any clean traffic. I've potentially above this point here. So it's a resistance formed on the way to the downside. We've pretty much tapped into it in most recent swing back up to that level around that 2386 90 2387 sort of level, and rejected yet again. So if we were to pop back up to that level, form a support the current level above that 2381 sort of level, 815, and head back up, retest that 2387, close above it, that could potentially be a level we could get involved in a buy to take it back up, as long as it's got the margin, as long as it hasn't made the push into the resistance, because we're running straight into a little bit of resistance about 20 pips away from that level. So we'll mark it in. Now we will consider buys from above 238, 2383. Depends how this candle closes. So for instance, if this candle closes, the 15-minute candle closes strong bearish candle, only to be followed by bullish engulfing, gonna leave a long whip down into the range below. Also, like, could maybe possibly break the Asian session low in the meantime, and then pop above that support again at 2383. That could be a Xauusd look for a buy if we have that 15-minute engulfing bullish candle on the second M15. So all about the buys on gold as well. GJ closed above, made the move into that range above too, so it's a bit choppy now, a little bit difficult. We'll be looking for buys upon the pullback. We'll have to wait and see, guys. So that's GJ and gold. Hopefully that'll make sense. Sorry for rambling. In the meantime, guys, we'll say good day, and then maybe we'll move on to have a look at GU, who we got this morning. Archer, good morning to you, brother. Franco, good morning. Roma, good day to you. Invite invalid Discord, like always is. No matter how often I update it, it always tends to after a week or so, and I know that you got to edit it when you send a link in, so it's invalid. Sorry, it's so the link is valid indefinitely, but for whatever reason it never tends to work. It always becomes invalid after like a week. I'll fix that up for you now nonetheless. All right, I'll send it back in. So this is for the free Discord group. I've just fixed that up. I'll send it into the chat as well. Ben, morning to you, brother. Hope you're well. Hope you've enjoyed your big getaway again. Yeah, looks like you've been having a good time, my friend. James, hope you're well, brother. Send a link in shortly if you want to join. Cody, good morning to you. Make coffee, no trades allowed till I get back. All good, man. I don't think there's anything happening right this instance anyway. Michelle, good morning to you as well, brother. All right, members, let me send in a link. G'day to everyone on TikTok as well, and feel free to ask questions and say hello. So I've been killing it, guys. Unfortunately, I wasn't on stream on TikTok on Friday. I just was in a bit of a hurry after I got in. Yeah, we took a really nice win on GJ, I think it was, on Friday. And we're just been really good. The training's been spot on, being very disciplined, training a plan, being patient, and 13 wins in a row. So GJ pulling back, it's all good. There would be no confirmation for me to sell it, nor am I interested in selling it today in the moment. But this is good because we could get some more margin and buy it a little bit lower down. Sorry, guys, I'm just sharing the stream on a few of my social media outlets. Let people know we're on. It's all good. Thank you very much. Been a really good start to July. 13-0 win streak. So been really good. Last week I had 5-0. 3 were on stream. Yeah, and just trying to plan, very disciplined. All trades were called either on stream or in the members group. So been a really good start to July. Hope you're doing well. Alright, gold. See, I prefer if this candle closed back bearish, this 15-minute. So now we've tapped into the Asian session low. I need a catalyst, and at this point, my catalyst would be a bullish engulfing, probably M15, but I'd rather it happen on the following candle. So, in that case, the 30-minute will close back bullish above the support. If it was to happen just now, I don't yet have any confirmation of the 30-minute forming support yet again at this level. So if it was to happen on the current 15-minute candle and the 30-minute candle, the 30-minute time frame is my catalyst. It is the time frame I'm comfortable looking for the confirmation on. It doesn't mean I can't execute based off 15-minute time frame, but prior to it, usually I want a 30-minute candle closing my direction. Alright guys, in the meantime, how about we take a look at GU? Actually, just quickly, if this was any other day, so Tuesday, Wednesday to Thursday, where I would trade with more, once I've had more data print, I'm more inclined to look for any sort of counter trend entry. What I'd be looking for right now, if that was to be the case, we're forming support within the current daily candle. We are obviously, current daily is forming bearish within the current daily candle. We have most recently formed support in the 15-minute time frame at this level here, 205.60. We've pulled back to that level. So if price was to begin to close below, tap in, rejection, that would be, normally I'd consider that as a potential entry or point of entry. But right now, obviously you still got the 30 minutes, still got 20 minutes to print. So that would normally be potential entry I'll be looking at, but once again, as per my rules, I am a very strict and disciplined trader. Today, I'm strictly looking for buys on a GJ. The only time I would start to perhaps consider sells is NY session. If I was trading it, I'd have a lot more data print. Obviously, we've had 2 full sessions prior to it, or 1.5 anyway. And maybe with use of the 4-hour time frame as a sort of catalyst, so some strong bearish candles, maybe flipping a 30-minute structure bearish. At that point there, I'd start to consider the sell options, but at the moment I don't have any of that, so I'd rather just trade in line with the trend and remain strict and disciplined with it. So in the meantime, guys, let's quickly take a look at GU. Let's have a look at that. Welcome to you, James. Hope you're well, brother. All right, let's get moving with GU. So I did some analysis just prior to the stream. So GU is similar to gold. We've got a nice strong catalyst here, but it's closed still within the resistance, but at least it's closed well above the bodies of the candles to the left. So what we've done, current daily, it's opened with a big gap to the downside, but we've broken the high of that previous daily candle. In my opinion, if we begin to break above the current daily candle's high, high probability will continue further and potentially up to the highs of the resistance to the left. Onto the daily, the structure itself has flipped back bullish across the board as well on GU right now. Once again, difficult to know what to make of it with that gap. Let's mark in 50% of that previous daily candle now, see if it lines up with an area of support or previous resistance that could potentially be an entry point on a possible pullback or buys. So it kind of lines up this rejection of 4 hour. Structure wise, the 4 hour is also technically bullish. Got some very clean traffic above the current daily candle size, so we're going to mark that in. Obviously we've got some really clean traffic all the way up to 128.530. We're going to mark in the most recent support. I'm going to incorporate the low of that bearish candle, see what it looks like on a 30. All right, I think that stays, that remains. All right, so 50% of previous daily candle, we've got a pretty strong level of support. So I would say if price pops back down, retest this 127.90, form a support back above it, I'll be looking for the options to look for a potential buy in line with the structure, in line with the bias. It's bullish across the board. Not only that, I would say as long as we really remain above this level, we're bullish. I mean, technically it's going to flip on a closure below 127.960, but it doesn't mean I'd be selling it because you run straight into a high time frame support. So I'll be looking for the buys from really back above that support. Even if we come back down and respect the 30-minute structure and it's close back above it, then more added confidence to look for your buy options. Now further buys, so just adjust this a little bit. Buys above the high upon continuation. Once I zoom out, we'll see we've got some really clean traffic to the left hand side as well. So pretty simple on GU. Yep, buys above at this rate, and probably need a closure above, seeing it's rejecting yet again. Buys from this support as well. We do form a support yet again around the current level 128.50. So really above one, yeah, maybe above 128 in general, guys. That's psychological round number. I'd be looking for the option to buy it. So we're retesting now the support formed around the current daily candles low. If we do pop below it and form a support, only to pop back above and form a support, then that could be an option to buy it as well. But all about the buys on GU as well. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. All right, gold. So about a candle too early. It looks like it could be happening. 15-minute looks like it could close bullish engulfing. Potentially. Just going to look like a really nasty M30 candle if you were to take entry right now. What sort of margin would there be above the high? Not much at all. You wouldn't even have 10 pips once you count for spread. Yeah, so definitely not my cup of tea right now. All right, guys, let's look at Bitcoin. And we'll start in the weekly. So it's been a big drop on Bitcoin the past few days. Obviously, it's, wow, that is a really strong closure on the weekly candle. We'll close below the support here to the left, below at 56,580. So for me, I'd be looking for the options to sell it moving forward. I'd be marking 50% that previous weekly candle, see what it lines up with. It's a potential pullback zone, grab more liquidity before it heads back in line with that previous weekly candle itself. Current candles just obviously opening today as well. Not a great deal of momentum and volume just yet in the market. That should likely pick up close to NY session. So I'm marking the previous weekly low. Below that, I mentioned last week, there's a good chance it will pop back down towards that 51.60 to 70. Daily wise structure still remains bullish, but obviously in a downtrend amongst the actual structure itself. We're creating serious lower highs, lower lows, counter probabilities to the downside as well. So again, this all suggests to me that we are likely going to continue to the downside. That resistance on the daily, also be the 4-hour resistance mark, lines up with the 50% that previous weekly candle. So once again, if price was to pull back to that level, I'll be looking for my signs of rejection for potential entries. Now onto the 4-hour time frame, and we are also technically bearish. We retested the last significant lower high in the 4-hour, only to reject it again. And marking the low for now, and adjust up the 30-minute, marking that whole area. So this is the 4-hour range. Below it, do have some margin. Definitely have some margin to the downside, potentially down towards 51 flat by the looks of it in the 4-hour. All right. So straight off the bat, I'd be looking for sells on continuation below previous weekly candles low. Now, where else could we potentially sell from? Onto the M30. So now just adjust this up to the lowest point of any bullish candle at that support. And if we close below 53,740, I'd be looking for the sell option with potential impulse sells below 53,345, a little bit lower down. So for me, Bitcoin, the M30 structure will flip back bullish above 57,290. So therefore, no, it won't. I'll flip back bullish the same level as the 4-hour, flip back bullish 58,830. This is the one impulse to the downside. It's the lowest point. That's the high. Anything in between right now is just micro trend. We are at a 4-hour support though. Having said that, I'd be more concerned with at this point where we potentially could pull back to form another resistance to head back down. And at that stage, that's 56,580 to 56,80 roughly. So I'd be looking for sells from that resistance on rejection. Got a little bit of support just here, followed by another impulse to the downside. So if we do tap into 56k only to reject, would also potentially be a sell option below that point there. So that's potentially what I would look at moving forward on Bitcoin just today. Yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. You're all about the sells on Bitcoin. So how's the weekend, guys? It was a good one. We had a pretty good one ourselves. The members and I, we jumped on a sim session on Saturday. The old sim was playing up a bit though, so got to figure out how to download the data properly. But nonetheless, we still got some work done, which was good. Got to test a few things out. We also jumped on a market analysis call yesterday. So putting in the work, putting in the effort, that's what you got to do if you want to level up, guys. So all part of the VIP.
GJ came down pretty perfectly to those levels you put in on that Sunday call.
Yeah, literally right inside that level there. I mean, it opened on this particular chart for gap below that first support, which it's pretty much at right now, but literally tap right in, didn't it? So if this was any normal day, that would probably be buy option, either impulsive as it broke the high of that doji candle, or upon the confirmation. But again, way too early for me to look for trades. No lower wick though on this candle, so it would have been probably not the easiest one to trust. good to see the levels holding. Awesome. How's the rest of the weekend, mate?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, decent. I haven't had much on this weekend.
Nice one. Hit the gym?
No, I find my weekends are quieter than my weeks.
Oh, really? That's all right. You recover.
I quite like it that way
weekends.
around. Yeah.
I prefer it too,
Also,
to be honest.
probably means you're doing more productive stuff than unproductive stuff, which is
Yeah, well,
quite good for
exactly.
you.
On your free time, during your free time. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
hit the gym or?
I didn't. I went Saturday and didn't go yesterday.
Okay.
Today.
Yeah, likewise.
Legs today.
Legs today. What did I do today? I did chest and arms today. Slightly tweaked the tricep workout, and oh man, was I absolutely burning after it.
Yeah, actually, end of last week, last Thursday or Friday was the first time for ages that I felt sore the day after. So this feeling is so good.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? At least you know that you've hit the muscle properly. I always feel it when I'm walking out. Like I really feel pumped in the muscles that I've worked out. But after a few hours, it tends to disappear usually.
That's what I mean, yeah. But the next morning, like when it kills, it's this is good.
Yeah, it's great.
This is proper.
Exactly. To be honest though, it's just about shocking the system again, shocking the muscles.
Yeah.
Because I think I mentioned
going into
something different, like higher intensity or higher weights. Because I think I mentioned I'm trying to put on a few kilos, a little bit more size, and I've gone up with some of the weights, and oh man, like I started again. Real pain in certain.
What, just reduce the number of reps?
Yeah, completely. Like aiming for minimum of about 6.
Yeah,
6 reps.
That's why I like. If you're doing less than 6, then it's a bit too.
It's a bit pointless.
Too few. Yeah.
Yeah. Not bodybuilders, but yeah, about 6.
There's
But I mean,
you
go.
There's also not that much point being strong, I don't think. Really, like being just going for strength. Like,
not really. Not unless you need it if you're an athlete or something.
Yeah.
But
my bench used to be way better than it is now, but I would still choose. Yeah, I would rather look how I look now than I did then.
Yeah, same. I used to be honest, I was a little nugget back then. But good. I was never. I've never been chubby. That's a good thing. I've never looked, ridiculous. But man, like all shoulders and my waist, I've got like a child's waist. So I can comfortably fit into like a size 28, 29.
Really?
Which is like,
word,
yeah.
That's so small.
In most things anyway.
That's good for the gym though. Makes your shoulders look wider.
Yeah, well, it does. But that's just I'm so proud of my boulders. The boulder shoulders. It's my number one.
Boulder shoulders.
I love it. I love smashing the shoulders. Absolutely love it. Good genetics. The old man used to do a lot of bodybuilding until he started to. I think probably till he met my old lady. And she was a really good cook, so I think he started to enjoy, working on his stomach, but not at the gym, at the kitchen table. Yeah, he's all upper body. Maybe that's where I got it from, because he's literally just upper body. He's got the skinniest legs and waist.
There's an absolutely huge guy where I go who's got the tiniest calves I've ever seen.
Oh,
he just looks so mad.
It
must be genetics, because I see him working them all the time.
Yeah.
And they just clearly will not grow.
That's tough. Because it looks stupid too, doesn't it?
It honestly looks ridiculous. Yeah. And he must be so conscious of that. I'd be super conscious of it.
Yeah, so would I. So would I. I've got pretty small calves as well. It's a pain in the ass, man. You're constantly repping out, you're lifting heavier or just higher reps, you're changing it up, and it's really hard.
Well, and they just don't grow.
Oh, they do, like, good definition.
Yeah.
But they don't really get any more chunky, to be honest. And I'll feel the pain.
Yeah.
I always feel the pain for a few days.
That is so annoying, isn't it?
It is. Look, it's not that bad, but probably one of the weakest parts as far as when you look at the when you see me, mate, you'll be mightily impressed. one day in Thailand, man. We're in a basketball scene.
Yeah, for sure, mate. We've got to link up there for sure.
Oh, mate. So you're around, trust me. only the good parts too. Some bloody funny shit to be had over there. To be done, to be seen. Good place. Really good place. Conspiro, good day to you. Extreme. Dollar AUD, sorry, CHF. Unusual pair. So again, the way I trade of a Monday, I prefer to trade in line with the strength of the previous weekly candle. So based off that, I'd rather look for potential buys. However, it's open with big gap to the downside by the looks of it. It's pulled back to create an upper wick and is looking like it's about to break its own low again. See, this is where I maybe change my opinion of we'll go against the weekly. We've got the daily candle probabilities to the downside. We've got a previous daily candle closing back relatively strong bearish, lower high, lower low to that bullish candle. Current candle has a lower high, lower low to the bearish candle. This suggests to me that we could make potentially a further pullback. The 4-hour structure is still bullish though as well. We have some pretty clean traffic by the looks of it down to the next support here at 60.282, so there's no margin in that. 30-minute is bearish. Got some big gaps here. All right, so I think you're a little bit late to the sells if you have to look to sell it. So what I'd be looking for is potential buys. So you're approaching a low of the day, or you just create a low, sorry. If prices pop back above and form a support, then I'd be looking for my options to buy. You've got 40 seconds left at 7:30. So I feel you need to wait for a 30-minute closure back above. That could be a catalyst. A bullish engulfing candle would suffice. Otherwise, pullbacks to sell it. It's technically bearish on a 30-minute time frame. Really choppy area though. So I'd say pullbacks to 60.50, and if it does reject, I'd look for sells. Otherwise, that's pretty much it, to be honest. Buys from lower down. Yeah, buys from above 60.28 roughly. Otherwise sells. So sells from pullback. Alright guys, I can see GJ, it's just closed and there's no confirmation for me. Sells, even if it makes a clear move down now and pops back up, only to pull back and reject, then maybe sells from within the range. Otherwise buys above the support. Alright, so gold goes back bearish. There is nothing for me on gold right now as well. Okay, interesting thing though, we formed a resistance on the 15-minute at the support, just above it. Not going to have the margin though, but if price was to close above, then could potentially come back up to the high of the range on the 30-minute. Let's just push deep into that range above though, that previous candle. Again, very little margin to look for any entries at current level. Going back closure on GJ. If there were clean candles to the left, this is identical to the trade we took on Friday. The exact same. If you guys remember, we had a candle that closed, I think it closed with no upper wick or a tiny upper wick, followed by a candle which broke the high, Didn't take the entry. Waited for it to pull back, create a low wick, and ended up pulling back into the range below. Only to close back just above it, weak bearish, sorry. Then we took the entry as the next candle broke the high. Pretty sure it was the next candle, or it ended up close. Yeah, it was the next candle, wasn't it? So this is very similar. Friday, that was just here. The candle closed bullish in this case. I think it was a 15-minute close weak bearish. Yeah, there we go. Very similar. Not on the 15, but on the 30. You just got absolutely no margin whatsoever. The Spirit Gbpjpy is looking good. Yeah, potentially. I just don't like level. Because even if you look at it on the 15-minute as well, you're buying it straight into consolidation. So in this sort of scenario, you guys often hear me mention, what I prefer to see is price cut through that, create a clean move up, then potentially reject, come back down, form a support again, clean move down, form that support, and then it's likely to make a clean move back up. The amount of times I've actually, the amount of times I've set it and then come back to the charts and later on and seen it pretty much done what I mentioned, I'd rather see it do. It's unbelievable. But of course, doesn't mean you're always on the chart to get the option to trade it, but it is much better if you're just to wait for it to cut through that mess, open up this range to become tradable again. Because right now it's just really back into consolidation. So what I would have preferred in this sort of scenario is, like I mentioned before, would have preferred for the resistance to form around here, and then for that bullish engulfing type of scenario to play out, closing back above, and then you still would have had enough margin at that point there, but you're now running out of margin as you begin to take entries back above the high because you're running straight into all that to the left. So as far as a catalyst, yes, it's a pretty nice catalyst. The weak bearish closure with a long wick to the downside. Looks like it's grabbed liquidity from that downside. If it breaks the high of that previous candle, there's a high probability that it will continue to the upside. But having said that, there's a high probability it could reject any point within this consolidation. So just because you've got a nice catalyst doesn't mean it's a valid entry, because you always got to look to the left and see where we are on the chart. And right now, probably the choppiest level, current level of price action. Below it, it's cleaner. Above it, it's obviously cleaner. This particular level itself is quite a mess. It's an alert. Actually, I've got ForexVPS Pro. I can set alerts now. Keep forgetting. Some alerts on Bitcoin. Let's just get rid of some of these zones on gold. Brian shared a live. Cheers. Appreciate it, my friend. On TikTok. So once again, guys, if this was clean traffic to the left, I would be in this entry right now. But it's not clean traffic, so I'm not taking the entry. I realized last time I actually streamed on TikTok, I forgot to end the stream. It was still running for like maybe 30-40 minutes after, and I was speaking to the missus. Oh man, that must have been embarrassing. I wonder what they heard. I mean, they would have heard everything. Oh, hey, sweetheart, I miss you. I am a romantic.
Yeah, that's hilarious. There's no one said no message you then.
No, there was nothing in the chat or no. It was just sat there quietly. But then I looked and I realized it was still ticking over live, and there was like 4 people sitting there watching.
So why would people just sit there watching and not say anything?
Oh, no idea. They'll probably listen to all the gory bits. No, it's pretty straight. Played a straight bat, luckily. Wasn't too mushy. So. DJ, trying to make a little bit of a move. So for me, my concern would be pretty much this level. Which, if you were to take it, once you count for spread, what's the high there? 60. So let's say about 75. That's 5 pips in. And if it bursts through, no problem. Makes this range tradable again for Xauusd to make a clean move up, clean move down, and I can look to trade it. Lover boy Justin. I like to treat my missus with respect. So long as she treats me with respect, which she does. So she's alright. Nice, lovely lady. She might be watching as well, so to be careful. She says she pops on usually once a stream just to click the like button and press the heart emoji a few times, and that's about it, and then hops off. She actually used to trade herself, trade out crypto, and she wants to get into the Forex. So
what does she do now?
Right now, she wants to start a business. She was worked in a wholesale as a wholesale jeweler. She actually made her own jewelry for quite some time, but she quit that. She actually worked because weed's legal in Thailand.
Oh right.
So she worked in a weed shop. Good cash. They'll pay really well, and she doesn't smoke, so it was all good. And they don't smoke inside, so it was all good for her. She worked there for a while, but the boss was a prick. So so right now she wants to start her own business. She wants to start a natural juice business, make her own smoothies and that, but something a little bit different, because everyone who goes to Thailand knows they're on every street corner, but they're full of sugar and condensed milk and that, and they're all crap basically. I mean, it tastes alright, but she wants to make like a healthier version of that and maybe brand it, put her own logo and all that all over it, and which is good. Into the fitness and all that. So
you guys gym together?
Actually last time we didn't, to be honest, because I was on a different schedule. I'd get up.
Oh, is she in Oz with you now?
No, not in now. No.
I was gonna say, yeah.
No. Last time
you were there, you mean?
Yeah, I mean we go for walks and that, but not
I see.
Not really a gym. We will this time though. Kaspira, what I think of EU. I'm interested in buys if our closed strong bullish. EU. Alright, so the weekly, once again, is similar to GU and gold. Very strong bullish candle on the weekly. Based off that, I mean, current candle's got an upward wick as well. So if it begins to break the high of that previous weekly candles, high probability will continue. You're pretty close to a resistance though, so there's not that great deal of margin on the higher time frame. Daily structure still remains bearish. Yep, remains bearish, but you got some, I mean, nice price action to the upside in the last few days. Once again, based off that, I kind of like to see some sellers be triggered into the market. So even if this candle closed back weak bullish today, and then use tomorrow's candle to break the high of the previous weekly candle, breaking the high of that minor resistance formed at that previous weekly candle's high, so that, which is the current day's candle. Use that as a confluence, and I feel at that point there's high probability it'll head up to 108.90. 4-hour structure still technically bearish, but it's now approaching the last significant lower high in the 4-hour. Has rejected it though, so not a bad level to be looking for sell from as far as the 4-hour time frame. It's a bit tricky level for support. We'll just mark something in on the 30-minute, and that in itself is technically bearish as well. Actually, hold on, it's a bit tricky because of that news related wick highs, but yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one. I would say it's bullish as long as it remains above that wick. As far as an area to buy from, what's bouncing off of support, obviously making a big move now back into the range, so it's going to be difficult to buy it within the current level. So I'd be looking for the buys above the high at this stage, unless it pulls back down yet again to retest 108.15, really 108.10. They can probably just drag this down. Performs at support anywhere, really anywhere above 108. Now I'd be looking for my cards from price action to buy it, so maybe a little bit of structure forming from these lows, and look to buy it back up. Otherwise, buys above the high. That's what I've been looking at. The hourly, it's at consolidation. So even if it closes strong bullish now, yeah, for me, there's no catalyst. Absolutely none whatsoever. Because I look at that thinking, well, it's coming from consolidation. That candle itself, the current candle, looked like it was going to break and make a move to the downside. But look what it's done now, flip back bullish. So how can I trust that this candle is the confirmation that we're ready to head back up without it actually closing above the consolidation? I have no real confirmation just yet. So potentially, yes, it's grabbed liquidity, creating a low of the current daily candle, I think it is. Actually, that is the low, but retesting that support. But I still don't have any catalyst because we're right back in that consolidation. So for me, it's still safer above the high at this stage. All right, GJ kind of burst through it. Yeah, so you probably got your 10. That's all right, all good. Doc, good morning to you. Been a while, hope you're well. You're in sunny Spain, I think, right now, aren't you? Welcome back. Well, to the stream, I mean, not to UK. Connection issues? Never mind. I hope you are enjoying your time away. So the charts will always be there. I think I mentioned it to you. Enjoy some time away. 31 degrees, lucky you. Actually, not too bad here today. Been bloody cold, but today it's not that bad at all. About 16 or 17, but morning wasn't cold, which is good. like London, left the rain there. I was watching something on Barcelona actually yesterday. Looks stunning, to be honest. Never been to parts of Europe, but not Spain.
Amazing.
Is it?
Great place.
What's so amazing about it? The food, the architecture, the beach. I'm assuming that there's a beach there, isn't there?
Yeah. The general vibe, the fact that you're in a city, but you're like you're right on the coast as well.
Okay, similar to Melbourne.
Yeah, such a party atmosphere and kind of even at night, you go out at night, and if you were to go out at night in London at 10 o'clock, most places are super rowdy. Whereas you go out late at night in Barcelona, it's kind of super family vibes. Do you know what I mean? Like this.
Oh, okay.
Everyone goes out for dinner at 9 p.m.
Yeah, so it's totally different lifestyle, isn't it?
Exactly. Everything's still quite chilled. There's no one getting thrown out of clubs and
not
fighting in the streets. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Have their siesta at like 2 p.m. or everything's shut for an hour.
Yeah. And it's always been hot when I've been as well, which does make a difference. So I just think of it as being boiling hot all the time.
Yeah.
Which probably is not.
Yeah, I assume it's generally warmer, but I have no idea because all you guys think Oz is always hot everywhere. But
yeah,
not down south, it's not. You're in the south coast, 20-minute drive to beach, loads of great doggy beaches. Nice one. Funny because I live like literally, when there's no traffic, a 5-minute drive. When there's traffic, maybe a 15-minute drive to the beach, and I never ever go. Never. Just could not be asked.
Even in summer?
Yeah, it's like the main tourist beach as well. Or international tourists, not for local tourists because everyone goes out of the city for that. But yeah, even in summer, maybe once a summer, if that. I didn't go last summer, not once. I used to love it. I used to love just going for a walk or a jog or something. No walking track there. Oh, about your Labradors? Did they go with you? Swimming actually tires them out. Oh, great, that's good news for you. I didn't realize that. I thought you had someone after him back at home. Beautiful dogs though, Labs. They are. You sent a photo. Wow, beautiful dogs. Everything's about the pooch. It's the same in this household. He is the boss. Alright, gold dropping to another potential buy zone. So it's all good. Once again, guys, we remain patient. We're likely going to be on the right side of things. So we wait for our plan to play out. We don't jump in on anything in between. Pretty much all of Oz is like that. Every major city is like within, I think it's some ridiculous stat, like 90% of Australians live within like an hour drive of the beach, or 30-minute drive of the beach. It's really some ridiculous stat like that.
Hey, good morning.
Franco, good morning to you, brother. How are you?
Hi. Fine so far. So had a nice weekend.
Fantastic.
Weather getting better here in Germany. So,
Yeah. So who won the football in the end, guys? What was the story?
no, it's still running. So congrats to James. So I
Oh,
think this
really?
was historical that England wins the penalty.
Against Germany, was it?
No, it was against Portugal.
No, well, England. No,
Yeah,
England
versus
beat
Portugal.
England beat Switzerland. France beat Portugal.
Sorry. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're right.
What's the deal now?
I'm not one of those typical. I don't know. I don't count that as a. I like watching it, but I'm not particularly patriotic. So I'm into it in that I like the sport, but I'm not so bothered about who actually wins.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you've probably got money on France or something. So you know.
If I would, yeah, I love the way France play. I wouldn't rather they win it, but I like the better team winning it. I hate it when the better team loses.
Yeah. So that's how it is. Just how they show up on the day. It's always upsets in sport.
Who are you
at the
rooting
end,
for now, Franco? Now that both of your teams are out.
No, there's also Spain in. So
Of course,
I'm half Italian and half Spain, and living in Germany. So
So you got three options.
yeah, correct. So and now but Spain is quite strong. So and I think they will win against France. And England, I don't know, have maybe a chance. Because Netherlands is not that strong, so could be. Maybe they reach again the finals, England.
Yeah, I reckon they could. Yeah.
They are not playing that good as expected. I think England.
That's the problem.
But
Pretty
again,
boring to watch.
Yeah, but at the end is the results. And the result is that they have won in the penalty, which is very historical at the end. So normally England is losing the penalties. So this
Same
time
in every
they won.
sport, my
So,
friend.
Yeah.
They choke. They always choke.
And I think today and tomorrow there will be then the semi-finals, and then at the weekend the final.
And the Olympics start in a few weeks' time. Well, that's I think I saw today, 26th of July.
There's been no hype about the Olympics at all, really.
No, there's absolutely
not anything about it.
No. Stuff all here as well, to be honest. Not a good time for it though here as well. Obviously, the time difference. Everything's overnight. Roma, nice cup. Cheers. Thank you. Top. Oh my, it was last Sunday when we were on our way to port that England equalised in that match in the last minute, so I nearly caused the passenger airbag to explode. Went a bit berserk, did ya? Dots a closet hooligan. Goats, good day to you, brother. Yeah, I know, they're talking a sport that we probably have no idea about right now. That round ball stuff.
Soccer, mate.
Soccer, mate. That's it, mate. Soccer. No, look, it's alright. I just didn't grow up with it. Occasionally kick the football around, the soccer ball around. Thought you've been wanting England to win for years. Had a lot of pain over the years. I can imagine. The same with the cricket. England seems to saving their energy. Is it like they just fall over a line? Sounds
Yeah.
like it. Bit of luck, yeah. We could get lucky. We were pretty unlucky last Euros finals. Beaten by Italy with a biased ref, in my opinion. That happened to Oz in the World Cup. I remember it. It was a bit of a commotion. I think it was against Argentina because we lost to them. I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was 1-0 in the end. Something happened in that game. I remember it, and it was absolute crap. Because it's the only time that anyone here in Oz really probably gave a shit about football. Actually, nah, then again, it is. Look, a lot of people do follow it. It's just not my cup of tea.
Also, just like not really. I feel like football suits England so well because it's kind of people get super passionate and they love all celebrating together. You know, you see those videos of everyone celebrating in big parks and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Australia, everyone just gets on with their own life, don't they? And everyone lives by the beach, so they're a bit more chilled out.
Maybe. Oh, look, during the World Cup, like I saw that, certain meeting points and that here in Melbourne, I think it was Fed Square, was absolutely jam-packed. I was in Thailand at the time. But yeah, no, when it comes to a national team, they actually do tend to get together when something is happening. But otherwise, yeah, I suppose so.
Do you know who Tim Cahill is, Justin?
Who?
Do you know who Tim Cahill is?
Oh, of course, man. Of course. He's one of the only football players.
He's probably the most famous, probably the only one everyone knows, is he?
Him and good old Harry Gill.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's long gone. Mark Viduka.
Mark Viduka.
That's like the 3 players I can name. I don't know if I could name another one, in all honesty.
No, I don't think I can.
In all honesty, Tim Cahill is the best player Oz has ever produced. Everyone loves him. He's a hero here. He's one of those guys. He's a bit like, I don't know if you know Paddy Mills, the basketballer, Aussie basketballer.
No.
He plays in the NBA. He's not a star by any means, but he's a good role player. He plays his part in whatever team he plays for. But when it comes to playing for Oz, he's just on another level. He's an absolute gun, superstar, and everyone knows him here. Like, no matter if you follow basketball or not, everyone knows him. The same with Timmy Cahill.
I was going to say, he was the same. No one would say he was an amazing footballer, but as soon as it was Australia playing, the man.
He was maybe it. I was going to say, all of a sudden he steps up to Ronaldo sort of level, but not quite. Not quite, but you know what I mean. He steps it up big time for the nation. Maybe we should look at some charts for a bit. So gold is melting still. It's all good. Potentially another level to buy it from. Once again, London session today, I'm not that keen on selling gold based off the back of that previous weekly. Also the daily. So potential levels, we're looking at to see where it could form support to buy it. Maybe into MY, there could be options to sell. DJ, again, it's about the buyers. Just don't have the right sort of confluence. That one's a nice one, just not the right level into consolidation to the left, so I'd rather let it go. Mateus, good morning to you. Thank you for the subs, guys. I'm not sure if I can ask you here, if that is okay. Could you please take a look at GA? My analysis suggests a long position when the price breaks above 189.705. You're more than welcome to ask. 189.705. Hold on. Am I reading that right? Because it's well above it just now. Yeah, could be. I think you might have the level marking wrong, my friend. I'll do the analysis nonetheless. So looking at GA, previous weekly closed back week bullish, but it's at support. So what I would say is, usually when I see counter close like so, that would suggest to me if it broke the low of it, there's a high probability we will continue to the downside. But where it's occurred is at a previous level of support. So potentially we could, once again, if we beat and break the high of that previous weekly candle, so high probability we'll continue to see upside. If we break the low of it, we may just pull back towards the low, but we've got another pretty strong level to deal with if we were to break below it. So below, let's mark it in 108.096. There's some really clean traffic to the left off the weekly time frame, fucking high of the previous weekly as well, and see what we got above it on the daily and the 4 hour and M30. Structure wise, let's have a look. So that is low. Swing points, flip bullish. So it's technically bullish in structure, and you got a candle closing back bullish in the previous daily. So if we respect the previous daily candle's low, weekly, sorry, I'm looking at the weekly, aren't I? I don't tend to, Jesus, let me start. That's not a great start. Weekly, the candle is bullish. Daily structure is bearish. Yep. Yep, it's bearish and will remain bearish as long as we remain below this point here. I'll mark it in 193.496. Marking the support. So we can see it's now tapped into a really strong level of support. You can really drag this up on the 4 hour. We've not created a lower low just yet. We're not closed below. We've tapped below. We've dropped below, but we've not closed below the lowest point of this impulse to the downside. So therefore, we're not going to be flipping any structure technically on a closure above 191.078. But we'll be bouncing off a 4 hour support, bouncing off a daily support. Got some decent traffic to the left hand side above that level. So I'd be likely looking for potential buys above 191.078. I'd be putting that in. That's just based off the 4 hour. And obviously, look at that for clean price action below that support there, 189.096. Got some really clean traffic to look for potential sell options below that point there. Be marking that in just now. Sells below. And what you're likely going to be doing is looking for anything in between, maybe buys from support, sells from the resistance. But let's see in a 30-minute what sort of levels we've got. And the structure itself on the 30. All right. Based off this one big impulse to the downside, structure wise, it is technically bearish. So therefore, that gives us an overall bias to the downside. So based off that, right now, I'll be looking for potential levels we could put back to, form a resistance below, and look for a sell as we're approaching a resistance here, 190 flat psychological round number. Good thing is we've formed a support just below that point. If we were to continue bullish, we should respect this support, head back up, create a higher high, end up heading back up towards that 190.2, 190.20 roughly. However, if we begin to reject the resistance at 190 flat psychological round number and pop back down to the most recent support we have formed within the current daily, and there's a high probability we will head back down towards the current daily candle's low. So therefore, I would definitely look for sells below that point there, 189.84. Sells below. Not going to be flipping any 30-minute structure. Based off the previous weekly though, the fact that that closed back bullish, previous daily closed back bullish, for whatever reason you got a massive gap to the downside on the current daily. It makes it a little bit awkward, but what I would be looking for the buys is for a closure now above 190 flat psychological round number. Got some clean traffic to the left hand side of that, so I'd be looking for also the buys above. So in this scenario, because the bias is technically bearish, but you've got the weekly closing bullish, I feel today you could look for either option to buy or to sell. Just a matter of finding clean areas within price action. So you got below the support as a level or above the resistance. Anything in between, I'd just be waiting. Very simple. Hopefully that makes sense. DJ popping up, that's all good. So we're into London Open, by the way, guys. Sorry, forgot about that. Are we going to close above? What I really like to see is this 15 closed strong bullish. I want to trigger in some sellers at some point. I don't want to just pop above. We could still look for the entry, maybe a limit order. if this 30-minute close is significantly above. Limit orders are more valid in this type of scenario when price is trending. When it's coming from consolidation, not as interested in the limit order. So when it's doing this prior to any entry, you get the closure above, I'm not interested in that limit order. I'd rather just take it as it breaks above that catalyst candle's high. In this situation, when it's starting to trend, get a nice strong closure above, then the limit order, in my opinion, is valid. Just need to wait for this 30 minutes to close to see where it closes. And gold, there is no confirmation just yet. Once again on gold, if this 15 closes bearish and we close back a bullish engulfing, closing the M30 back bullish above this support here to the left, that could be a catalyst, potentially. Doc, I grew up the older brothers and dad, they loved the footy and played women's footy when I was young. Had a few nicknames too. Nice one. Actually, that's something that's become really popular here, but I'm talking about Aussie rules, not the round ball. Women's footy, it's become quite a big league these days. I think a lot of support behind it. Women's sport in general, it's really taking off, so it's good to see. Brad, good day to you. Speaking of footy, my brother-in-law went to the grand final last year, Brad. He's a mad Pie supporter. Aren't they all? You're all mad. The arch enemy. Matthias, you playing wait and reach it? Yep, that's all good. 189.60. Okay. Matthias, my pleasure, my friend. No problem at all. Mr. Phil, good morning to you, bro. Brad, you were there as well. I think he said he left in the last few minutes because he just couldn't hack it. Like he couldn't take it, he couldn't stomach it because I think weren't you guys down like within a few minutes left? Or it was literally, I think the scores were level or something. I think it was a nervous wreck, so he had to leave. Imagine that. Oh, I got to see you winning one. Lucky for you, mate. My team's barely even made the finals in the past 20 years. Jenny, good to see you. Been a long time. Hope you're well. Welcome.
Hey, Justin.
Yeah, mate.
I have a question.
Of course, go
on
ahead.
gold, you have maybe I have I don't know. You have other colors here.
Yeah.
In green. Does this matter something, or maybe
that's
I missed it?
15 minute.
15 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, because the 30 you don't really have a zone here.
Okay.
You just got a bullish candle closing or opening with no lower wick. So there's no zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I've chosen the 15-minute level. I'm incorporating the low of the bullish candle on the M30 and just the lowest point of support on the 15-minute.
Understood. And an additional question to GU.
Yeah, of course.
What I see right now is I have marked more or less the same zone as you have also there.
Okay.
But what I see right now, we have a strong bearish H4 candle, and for me it makes only sense to take buys when we really achieve the daily high. So
okay. So you have
right now, right now I would be cautious to take buys right now at the level what we are right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Because of the strong H4 candle. Even if we have an engulfing candle there, bullish engulfing, I would not take a buy right now, because then we are in the near of this resistance area.
Correct. It wouldn't make any sense at this point.
This is more or less my plan. And maybe sells I will take in this area which you have marked also, because I have on the former daily candle, I've marked the Fibonacci's, That's
All right. Yep.
the 50 and 60, and it's line up more or less. And for me, if we pass through this 50% Fibonacci and maybe closed also, there I'm willing to take some sales on GU.
Yep, I think that's valid. If it starts to do that, that's a fair catalyst. And at that point, you likely will, sure, you'll have the 30-minute flipping bearish, unless it just melts out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be a catalyst. See, right now on GJ, we don't have any of that. Structure's still bullish. It retested the last significant high low. It's respected it. So now, again, for me, there'd be no confirmation to sell it today. But GU, if that was the case, you're gonna have 30-minute flipping bearish. You have some strong rejection on the 4 hour as well. You're gonna be breaking below a support formed on the 4 hour as well. So that's added confidence. So perhaps if it was for this candle to close back strong bearish below the support, bearish, not bullish, then that would be your perfect catalyst moving forward today for a potential sell.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely makes sense. So we'll see, guys. There could be options. Could be options on the next candle, next M30. Brad, yeah, down 2 points for 5 minutes to go. Yeah, or something like that. I didn't even watch it, to be honest, man. Gold bouncing off. All right, so let's see if this closes strong bullish, which it is about to do so in a few seconds on the 15. What we may look for now is a weak bearish closure next M15. Still going to close the M30 strong bullish candle, bouncing off a potential zone that we have marked in. That could be enough for a potential buy on the next M30 candle. Wait and see. Meantime, guys, give me a minute or two. I will be back very shortly. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty guys, gold still bouncing. Wow, strong bounce off that 15-minute support. GJ still below resistance. Wait and see. TikTok, cheers for all the new followers, all the few of you. Let's keep an eye on GJ. Looks more likely at this stage. What's Bitcoin doing? All right, it's almost approached that resistance where I've got the alert. Looks like to me that could sell off. Again, we don't trade what we think, but just looking at that, it's a slow trickle up. I reckon once the volume comes in, it could once again create another impulse to the downside. But just because I think that doesn't mean I can just take the trade. I need to wait for some sort of catalyst, which at the moment I don't really have. Maybe selling it back into some choppy traffic. I don't feel like we should probably look at 2 cryptos, not ETH. It's just too similar. Maybe something probably a little more volatile, maybe even Rune. That's quite a volatile pair. Or crypto. Maybe Solana, potentially. I don't know if you guys have any opinion. Jenny, you might have an opinion of that. What crypto is quite volatile. I mean, they all are, but which one's good for trading? $46 likes, fantastic guys, almost at 50. Legends, appreciate it. Good question. I'm watching way too many. That was the exact same as me. I used to, honestly, when I was on Gbpjpy, I just literally flipped through nearly every single crypto on that list. All right, this one looks all right. Yep, we'll chuck a small position on that one. That's how I used to do it, in all honesty. Oh, how high did this thing get to? Wow. Stuffed up on this one too. I know, man. I was buying this thing at like $3. Is what it is. I just pressed the down arrow. That's pretty much what I do on Bybit. But once again, the plan is to trade Bitcoin live in the future soon, and it will be on Bybit. I love it. It's the best platform. To be honest, I wish all the Forex brokers were the same. It's literally trading on TradingView. But I know you can do that now on TradingView. But it's just better. Like the control panel you have on the right hand side, it's just, once you understand how to use it properly, at the start it's a bit off-putting, it's a bit daunting, but once you understand how to use it, it is so much better. Got your panel on the right hand side, you got your chart like TradingView. You can adjust the entry and stop loss and all that by moving the horizontal on the chart. So it's really good. So 15 is closing bullish at the moment. It's still not a total write-off yet. I mean, might not mean there's entries on the first 15 minutes of the next M30. But if that candle was to close weak bearish the first 15 minutes of the next M30, like so, then we could potentially have an option to buy it on the second 15 minutes of the M30 candle. Breaks the high of that minor pause. Potentially, but we'll have to wait and see. Also, it just depends how long it would take because you're coming close to the closure of the hourly as well. So the hourly, good chance it will pull back to leaving up a wick. And I don't want to get caught in that, so wait and see. Dot, you missed by a bit. Can you guys not use it in the UK anymore? Actually, you can't, can you? I'm pretty sure they banned it last year. How about Kraken? Dot, do you know if you guys can use Kraken? That's another pretty good exchange. Bitget? Okay. BitMEX was another one. I used to use BitMEX. Okay, EX, I think was another one. Still probably got a fraction of Bitcoin on there. It's probably worth thousands now. I don't have any idea. I know I had something on there, but I can't remember how much. I don't think it was much. Then again, even if it was 0.1, that'd be worth 5k now, 5.5k. So it's still decent cash. Right, GJ. 2 minutes. Is it going to close above? It's trying to push again. Let's see. Yeah, to remove your funds. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a bit of a pity. You have Kraken, but not used in ages, Dot. FEMEX is another one. I had a look at it. I think I got an account with it, but I never actually used it. Fancy? No, you can't use Gbpjpy UK, but you can use Apex Protocol, which is basically run by Gbpjpy. Oh, okay. That's probably the way of getting around it. Alright, so gold's going to close back a strong bullish candle. I don't have the catalyst though. 15, I don't like this long upper wick that it's leaving. I mean, that's just to me exhaustion from the upside. We are trending actually bearish in the current daily candle, so likely if we were to break the low of the current candle, we'll head back down to retest the current daily candle's low on the following candle. But once again, I'm more about the buys, and having said that, you don't really have much margin either way. But just by way of price action, it looks like it could potentially drop. The 30s close back bullish. Don't quite yet have a catalyst. Open with a little gap to the downside as well. All right, GJ's closed with no upper wick. Oh, sorry, a tiny upper wick. Current candle got no lower wick. Interesting. I mean, what would be nice if this thing pops up to break the high of that resistance, then pops back down to create a low wick, then breaks again. That could be a cheeky little entry.
Justin,
Yeah,
what's a short remark on GJ? So on under, the chart looks a little bit different. We have on the M30 time frame
okay.
an bullish upper wick. So
I wonder is very different, but you still got that level, which is resistance on the 15. It's not a resistance on the 30. Yeah, I mean, I wonder looks
yeah, okay.
right.
So I mean, there's a gap there. At
Yeah, the
end.
gap.
So if we put then there a bearish candle there, then there is a resistance at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, let me look at it again. So I think it for now it needs, in my opinion, to pull back, create a low wick, and then break again.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'd be worth a small entry.
Yeah, there could be then a possibility. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. Because on Forex.com it's broken resistance. But again, there's no real confirmation for me. As a potential breakout entry, we do have a pretty strong catalyst. What I like to see prior to any breakout entry is strong volume in the candle prior to the breakout. And I want it to close above the bodies of the candle to the left hand side, which this is done. It's ticked the boxes. Now we've also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we've closed the 15-minute. No, we haven't. Well, we've closed the 15-minute candle bearish just below it, I suppose. We have triggered in some sellers around that level. But what would, for me to consider a valid entry, I need a lower wick. So now it's broken above. It will be a delayed breakout. If it pops back down to create its lower wick and then flip and break again, that's where potential entry could be taken. So that's my focus. But there is absolutely no entry until it actually creates low wick. If it doesn't create low wick, for me, there is no entry at all. I'd rather not get involved. But yep, I have FMX, but just have it the hold USDT. Oh, okay. Fancy, totally agree. 5-minute close above, holding support 206 on lower time frame. I'm looking to buy on flip after creating a decent wick. Yeah, I agree, but it looks like it could just go. Yeah, you've triggered in some sellers. 5 minutes creating some high lows, high highs, so it's looking good. Just want to see the low wick. Because once again, it doesn't have to, but if you were to look back at all these candles, I'd hazard a guess. I mean, you've got quite a few here, don't have wicks in both directions, but on majority, when you look to the left, I'd hazard a guess you'd have 85 to 90% candles that have wicks in either direction. So what makes me feel comfortable prior to an entry is the candle having a wick in the opposite direction to the area or the direction I want to be trading it in, sorry. So in this case, I simply need to wait for it to pull back to create low wick. As soon as it does so, I'd be seeing a buy stop back above the high. If it draws out closer to the closure of the hourly, I will remove the buy stop. What's the high? 146 on IC. I'll be looking at 161, about a pip and a half. Brad, one more like to get to 50, that'd be fantastic. Good effort today, guys. Appreciate it. Now, if gold closes bullish and golf in the M15, also could potentially be an option. DJ has a created low wick, not just yet. All right, so keep an eye, guys. There could be options on gold as well. Alright, so GJ's created a low wick. Seeing a buy stop. Stop loss will be below the 15. Previous M15. And if this doesn't break the M15 and flips very shortly, then you can manage a trade based off the current candle's low. But so far rejecting. If we pull back below the 15-minute candle's low, I'd probably rather just wait. In terms of a liquidity grab candle, what I prefer to see the trust entry is for it to break the low of the previous candle first, lower high, lower low, then pop up and break the high. Then I'd argue it's grab liquidity from downside, breaks the high, it's likely to continue. We've already created up a wick at this point here. So I don't feel we need to pull back and break the low of the previous candle if we were to continue bullish. I'd rather it begin to flip shortly. If it doesn't and breaks the low, I'm not going to set it. Well, I'll remove it, sorry.
Yeah, I think when it breaks the low of the bullish candle, I think then we need to wait again to close the M50 candle.
I agree.
But it's good that it was not making that much a higher wick right now on GJ.
Yeah, it didn't break too far, correct.
Yeah.
But to be honest, gold could be the play. I'm just not keen on the impulse. If this candle was the opposite way around, long wick downside, closing weak bearish, then yes, but don't like, just, I don't know what it is. I've never liked that sort of pattern within price action. At that point, I'd rather wait for a bullish engulfing candle or a very strong bullish closure. But right now, it could well just break. If it does, so be it. Alright guys, so what I'm looking at is buys above at 161. I'll tell you if I'm going to remove it. I've just set it. Top loss below 15. And if this M15 closes in the next 5 minutes, or 6 minutes, sorry, back below the range, then I would just remove it. Or if it closes, yeah, we'll see. I might remove it at closure of the 15. So actually more into you, brother. Gold rejecting. Alright, let's set an alarm on gold and we'll keep the chart on GJ. Thank you for the sub, guys. All right, so we're flipping. Let's see. All right, being a Monday, I go slightly smaller risk. And there's ways to manage this trade as well. As soon as it triggers in, you can pretty much just drag your stop loss to the entry candle's low. Split out level there. Has no need to pull back and break its own low again if it was to continue bullish. It's a good way to manage the risk on the table. Well, let's see. See if the win streak continues. Oh, here we go. There's a bit of volume just there. I didn't get slipped. Got triggered in, but I didn't get slipped, which is good. All right, let's see. I actually got tagged in. Didn't you guys get tagged in?
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm also in.
That just popped with volume. I'm surprised I didn't get slipped. Vishal, you're in as well? All right, let's see. I'm just dragging my stop loss up a little bit. A bit of volume on that push to trigger me in. I thought it was one of those ones where I was likely going to get slipped. Got rejecting as well. Let's see.
Hopefully it's 15-minute closes above.
Yep, and just a small low wick.
Yeah.
Not a great closure on the 15. Oh, it popped up, actually. No low wick. I've got a tiny low wick on my broker.
I've got a low wick now.
Yeah, now we are. Needs to flip and break its own high again. Yep.
Oh, a couple more pips. Yeah,
Xauusd also flipping right now.
Do you?
It was a GU. It was also bearish, now flipping.
All right. So a bit of strength in
Yeah.
the pound. All right. Come on, GJ.
I'm putting my stop below the current 15.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna drag it up a little bit below it.
36.09.
Here we go. Come on.
Oh,
All right. It's
Good,
looking
good.
good.
6 pips. G was also pushing. So strength in the pound right now.
Yep. Come on, a little bit more.
Will you take profits?
Gonna get to break even
Okay.
right now. Got 7
7
as per my
pips, yeah.
plan.
Okay.
So I'm at break even, guys.
Yeah,
I want to get it to
So-
around. I want to get up a little bit higher before I start securing. Mind you, we are in that 4-hour resistance. Don't forget. So I've had
secure.
Had 7.
Securing at 2-step.
What are you looking at?
I'm securing at 2.7. 206.27.
Okay. Vishal, close. Nice one. You pushed. Gold as well. Bouncing back up a little bit. It's not a bad first up trade for the week, guys. There you go.
I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Worth the effort. I think it was a pretty good trade. If it goes now, it goes. We are, again, like I said, we are in a 4-hour resistance, so just be careful with it, because it still could reject. We've got just over an hour left of the 4-hour. But nonetheless, some of you took a W, so good work. Well done. If you could, hit the like button, that'd be much appreciated. TikTok, you were in as well. Nice one. Saint Takashi. Yeah, so it made sense. Just need to wait for the lower wick to fall, and as it broke again, that was, in my opinion, the entry. So good effort. What's gold doing now?
So win streak is still there, Justin.
Still there. Would have been better if I managed to secure, but it's all good. Be on goal. I was so close to securing just 50% at literally at 8 pip mark. I'm like, it's probably not enough. 7.5 I think it was.
I just feel like that seems like the right thing to do in hindsight. But if you did that every trade,
Yeah, then
every
you're
5
cutting-
trades, you miss out on. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can't even win a short too, so all good. So our goal closes in just under 8 minutes time. Oh, good thing is the plan, well, pretty much worked, and stuck true to the plan as well. Shows discipline. Watch it go now. I meant to create a low wick. Just do the dirty right now. It's all good. Not much you can do about it. So we'll watch goal, guys. Let's see. So you got the 30, which also could close weak bearish. It's tapped into support as well and rejected. So for me, to trust it more, I'd rather not have that closure, a weak bearish closure in the 30 right now. I'd rather this M15 close back, bullish engulfing. Because then we're going to be starting to pop back above some of these wicks to the left hand side as well. The 30 minutes already rejected that level once. So if we were to approach it again and close above on the 15, that would be enough for me. That'd be a strong enough catalyst to look for a buy on the following M30 in your alley. Yeah, alley's going to close back bullish as well. Let me remove the drawings. So that's what I'll be waiting for. Dot, join on GJ, still holding small position. All right, just be careful because, like I mentioned, it's that flyer resistance that it's staying within. So I'm not fast. I'm happy with the result in the end. I think it's well managed. It's out through a fair bit of drawdown. Almost got to TP1. Is what it is. Oh, Gbpjpy guys, today we've got those who are around. We've got the educational session, by the way. That is roughly around 10:30 AM UK time. So if anyone's around, let us know.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Nice one. So it's pretty much, we'll just go over topic, and we're not really looking for trades. I mean, we keep a bit of an eye on things, but it's more just to go over a few different entries or whatever, anything that you guys might have on your mind. Sharif, looking forward to it. Nice one.
You were sent an invitation for that Justin?
Yeah, of course, send the link in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, 11 a.m. UK time I put. So we'll make it for sometime between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. we'll say. Probably close to 10:30. That's okay. I'm just checking the schedule in. That's all good?
All good, G.
Nice one. Fantastic. All right, goal. 3.5 minutes. How's it going to close? Upper's got salmon sitting on the kitchen table, ready to be cooked. So, getting ready. Room temperature. It's not like it's warm in here. It's probably going to be bloody just cold as in the fridge. You're going to make me wait gold or not? What's the deal? GJ, so it's rejecting, so I'm happy with the management. End up buying a
Like
little
how-
bit of silver. What's that?
As you say that, it pops up 3 pips.
GJ?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
always.
DJ's a character. Like a cheeky puppy or something. Gold is like the pitbull. Actually, no, it's not. Naz is. Especially during MI session. Lances, nice, thank you. So I ended up buying a little bit more silver yesterday. I was contemplating whether to wait for market open, pull back a little bit, but it's all part of DCA. You just robotically every so often, but for me it's fortnightly. And literally doesn't matter what the price, you just buy. I'm hoping it melts a bit. Oh man, look at it now. Okay. EJ. Look at AJ. About GU. Alright, 30 seconds. I mean, JJ looks alright now for a buy, but I'm not gonna tempt fate again, to be honest, because once again, it's that 4-hour resistance, which is a little bit off-putting. The fact that we're well within it now. So if the 4-hour closed like so above the bodies and counts, like to the left, if this was the closure of the 4-hour, I'd be potentially at that point looking for it. I mean, the limit order is potentially there at the high of that bearish candle. But I kind of reckon it's stiff on that one. It's Aussie slang, by the way. Just a bit unlucky. Gold has closed back strong bearish, so there's nothing on gold right now. It's not ready. I'm going to leave this 4-hour resistance alone until this confirmation. I feel it's the best way to go about it right now. Wait for it to confirm. Wait for it to close above the bodies and accounts to the left. Then I'd be more comfortable trading into it. We almost got the biscuits on the previous one. Very close to, but break even. So could have been worse, well managed. So right now, I'd be waiting for the 4-hour personally. And wanting it to close above the resistance. Preferably strong above. Then look for the new count to pull back. Retest this level, form a support above it, and that could be the option. Look for buyers moving forward. I will not be selling it just yet. I still don't have any confirmation whatsoever to look for it to sell. Even if it starts to pop below this range, I'd probably just rather wait for it to pull back and form a support yet again. Again, Monday, that's just how I roll. Better trading life, the strength and of the weekly, and also with the bias and structure. Gold. All right, so right now it's formed a resistance at support. So gold, still not a bad level to be looking for buys, but what I'd be waiting for is the closure above the most recent resistance we formed at support. So closure above 23.81, 180. And at that point there, I feel it's a high probability we'll pull back up to retest the high of not the current daily, but the resistance just below that level, around at 23.87.20. So that could be an option to buy it moving forward. Yeah, and even limit orders at GJ anyway right now would be invalid because it's broken high that previous candle. So that's what I'd be looking at. As far as continuation buys, yes, it's technically valid, but I'm choosing to avoid the 4-hour. Reason being, you got 5-minute closure above, you got the tap in, continuation. New candle doesn't necessarily need to pull back, create much of a low wick, breaks the high, likely continue to the upside. But once again, not going to play with this 4-hour resistance anymore. Should feel wick, yeah, there's a good chance it will. Right now, close above, now even better confirmation. Yep, does look good, but once again, gonna let it play out for the time being. So good effort, but yeah, I think that's pretty much a wrap, guys. This time I'm definitely gonna remember to end the TikTok stream like last time. It's a must to check every time now. Guys, thank you, well done, good effort today. Good to see some of you got some profit too, so nice work. Yeah, Franco,
Yeah, thank
James,
you.
I'll catch you guys in probably about an hour and a half, and maybe an hour and 45 from now.
Perfect.
Cheers. I will catch
See
you guys
later.
then.
Bye.
See you later, champ.
Cheers, mate. Bye. Yeah, Franco. To the rest of you on YouTube and TikTok, appreciate you for joining. If you'd like to know anything more about services I do provide, you can find all that or on the YouTube channel anyway, in the description down below. Is that gold or Bitcoin? Gonna alert. Bitcoin, all good. So yeah, VIP, I will be on for VIP shortly, or in about an hour and a half from now. So have a think about joining if you have not done so. I trade live pretty much every day of the week with those guys after the stream. So more focus Tuesday through to Thursday for NY session, but we have something going on every single day of the week, even Saturday and Sunday generally. So cheers guys, well done today. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for getting the likes up to over 50. It's the first time in a long time, so appreciate you, and make sure to subscribe if you have not done so yet. And I will see you guys tomorrow from around 4:30 my time, so what's that, 7:30 a.m. UK time. I'll be on tomorrow. Until then, cheers, take care, catch you then guys, bye.